Disclaimer. This video contains graphic details of an actual crime. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everyone, it's Char from Char's Fashion Nation, and today, I got my ring light over here. Today, we're going to do a spoopy story time about something that happened in the 80s. Sorry about that. Animals, they don't behave. So before I go into anything, I'm using my lip balm from Sin City Soaps and Candles. They will be back as soon as Nicole feels better. Yes. So I actually need to retouch up something because there was a little cooking accident in the kitchen, so little spots on my face got a little toasty burned, so I'm not too worried about that, because life, you know, life. So, just so you guys know, yesterday's video, which I had recorded in full, I will tell you before the other things. So, I recorded it in full, so maybe you get a double spoopy story time today. I'm just going to put the juvias around the eye. This is too yellow. For the rest of my face. So, we're just going to put it around there for priming the eye. So, okay, yeah, back into that. I was starting, doing my video yesterday. Everything was all good and such and everything. And I go back to check. The only thing that was there was the disclaimer. So, yeah, there's that. That was weird by itself. Just all by itself. Weird. Get a drink. What do I do with my water? I have my water. Oh, there it is. I've been recycling, even though this is a Dr. Pepper bottle, whatever. I've been recycling. I just put water in it, put it in the fridge. I, of course, rinse it out first, but recycle. Makes your environment better. So, anyway, I love this setting powder. I've been loving the setting powder. So, yeah, I go back to check, right, on my video. And to get ready to edit that video. And it disappeared. The only thing that was left was the disclaimer. And then I went back to check that, and that was gone. So, is that spoopy? Yes. Absolutely spoopy. So, that's just part of the, I've always wondered why, I would put this on and it would just fade off. That's because this is the one that does that. There's different setting powders that are a certain way. And this is just that sheer one. That happens to do that. So, anyway, back to the spoopiness of such. I'm really glad I have this ring light now. So, yeah, there was that. And, I'm too worried about where I put the setting powder right now. That mirror down. So, yes. There was that. And now, for the spooky story for today. So, anyway, because this is actually recording, I might turn up the light on this just a bit, but I have to be careful with my eyes. Oh, that went to the wrong one. I meant to push the other one. There we go. I think you can see me better now. Um, so I might use my Morphe palette for this. If I don't, I'll use my Makeup Revolution color book. I don't know. Yesterday I was doing like this really cool eye look. Kind of looked a bit Elvira, Mistress of Dark. So yeah, I only keep 3 larger palettes in here and then 3 little elf palettes. So I got elves in my tray. So I've been loving this palette ever since I won it in a giveaway. I've really been like loving it. So, okay. When I was a kid growing up, so here we go with Spoopy. We moved from military base to military base. You know, the people that raised me. You know, the dude went back in the Navy. He wasn't the best person. He was kind of an asshole. But so be it. That kind of follows into the story too. It wasn't him that committed the crime. Well, he did commit a crime, but it wasn't this one. So between going from Long Beach, California over to San Diego, not everybody gets to live on the military bases, just so you know this, because sometimes housing is limited and then they can give you an allowance for this. And, you know, things were different back in the 80s. Okay? So very different back in the 80s. So, there's like some creepy things that happen at Long Beach too. But in San Diego, right? And, you know, back then, all married couples were like super happy to welcome in a new life into this world. So the guy in this story we will call Jackass, because, you know, Jackass. So Jackass' wife, one day, it's like she went to the doctor, you know, she was feeling kind of weird, and also gave her the pregnancy test. And, let's go back into the same way I did this yesterday, because it was really nice. So Jackass' wife, she goes to the doctor, because like I said, you know, she wasn't feeling well, she wasn't feeling, you know, all par and everything, so he gives her this test, and it comes out positive for her, you know, expecting. So she's all excited, because it was her first baby, you know, and she figured, okay, well, her husband would be happy too, you know, surprise him with the news and everything. Now you would think that he was happy about this. But no. And why? Because Miss Cheaty girlfriend, which was another person's wife, y'all, like, a lot of these military wives were just hoes. Back then, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of those still around. And, so, at the same time his wife got pregnant, he had got his girlfriend pregnant. And the girlfriend happened to be the wife of a fellow sailor. So that guy thought that his wife was expecting their first. And, you know, they just don't, back then, they just didn't do the DNA tests like they do nowadays, okay? So these days they actually check, and if you fucked up, either the guy accepts the child or or no. And like a lot of these women that go out on the scene now, if they come back pregnant and weren't pregnant before they left, then oops, right? Oops. Again, their life partner, whoever, would either accept the child or not. So anyway, back to the whole thing, because some of these military people are just fucked in the head. Yes, they wanted to join the service, but what was their actual reason? So, anyway, back to this whole thing with Jackass, right? And he was all panicky and everything. He didn't know what to do, and so he devised this plan. Hey, if I do this, nobody will ever know. So what he actually did was, he had access to chloroform, and a lot of times back then in the 80s, these guys had access to a lot of stuff that I think they shouldn't have, but that's just my opinion. Because of the simple fact is, what is their intention behind this, right? You really have to think about that. What's their intention behind this? So he starts to panic and doesn't know what to do, why would you even panic? It was your first. If you didn't want kids, you didn't have to marry her. So, right? I'm trying to think which thing I want to grab here for a rush. I'll just grab this one. So, he devises this plan, and, he chloroforms his wife, takes her to an abandoned or just not used warehouse on base, right? So this guy had full access to a lot of shit that he shouldn't have had access to because he was just a jackass. So, okay. He chloroforms her, like I said, and he takes her to this warehouse. Now, Jackass thought, hey, I'll just do this and nobody will ever know. But, no. He forgot. She kept in constant contact with what? Her parents and relatives. Yeah. Why is that going on? That should be going out. Anyway. So, after a while, her parents are worried about her. What parent would not be worried about their kid unless they were a total jackass, too? When it doesn't want to work with a brush, finger. I know that sounds wrong. But, okay. So Jackass thinks he's gotten away with this thing of, I can tell you the most creepy part of that, so they're dragging his wife to this warehouse. So he drags her to the warehouse, unconscious, right? And he severs her limbs, her legs and her arms have been severed while she was unconscious. That's very disturbing. And find this one eyeliner I used yesterday. Oh, here it is. And he takes an iron that you iron your clothes with. And severed, takes it and sears her wound shut with this iron. That's disgusting. This person was disgusting. This is full on disgusting. And yes, you can line your eye with your eyelids somewhat shut. Okay, so he did that. She came to, and of course, you know, when you come to out of something like chloroform, you're not going to really realize what the heck's going on. I'm just going to use a little mascara today, like what in the heck? So, of course, you know, when you come to, you're not really going to realize what's going on. And then she realized, starts screaming. Of course, who would not scream? And why would nobody hear that? Right? Because her arms and legs had been severed while she was unconscious. So, and it's horrible. I don't know why people raise monsters like that. Monsters need to be, you know, like terminated. But, okay, she realizes what he's done. Right? And amongst all this shit, right, she would just rather die. We'll get to that part, but, you know, so people are starting to wonder, you know, where is she? Because nobody hears from her for like weeks at a freaking time. So they call the house, he answers, and he's like, oh yeah, I meant to get back to you, I've just been super busy on base. You know, she went on an extended vacation, and I'll let you know, and I'll let her know that you called, you know, asking, you know, where is she, how's she doing? And they're like, oh, okay, because she usually lets us know. Like, why would you not let a parent know that you were, you know, going on a vacay? Right? Of course people do. Because you're like living not too far from the Mexican border. So this guy, he takes some leave time, and he goes down to Tijuana with his cheaty girlfriend. So, you know, he sent some pictures to her parents, like saying, oh look, I caught up with her, took some leave, caught up with her, and we had a great time. Well, she's not in these pictures at all, right? So they're like, well, where's she at in the pictures? He's like, oh no, she wanted to take the pictures. And they're like, they don't know if they actually believe that. I wouldn't believe that. So, cheaty girlfriend that belonged, you know, married to another man on base, decides, you know, she's taking pictures and all of her vacation. She didn't, you know, some of these women were just plain airheads. Okay? And so she's not thinking about the fact that she's in the background. So she had a specific camera that, you know, a lot of people don't think about like the technology then to now. Back then they did have those picture, you know, those cameras where you could take a picture on a timer. Yeah, they had that thing back then, right? I had one of those cameras when I was a kid. I was a kid back then. But, so yeah, she's not thinking of the simple fact that her boyfriend is caught in this picture, you know, in the background, and he didn't realize a couple of times that his cheaty girlfriend was also in the pictures, or some of those pictures. So, you know, like, hey, you know, what you doing in those pictures with this person? I was like, oh, I caught up with them while they were down there, and, you know, whatever, like, that shit is suspicious to me max, right? Like, what? So, time goes on for what? So yeah, okay, her parents continue to call. Because he said she'd be back at a specific time. She, let him know and everything. And so they figured, okay, she'd be calling. Nothing. Not a thing. More suspicious? Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. So, tells them, well, I'll let her know again to give you a call. And of course, no phone call comes. So they send MPs out to do a well check because, they're military police. And they got suspicious of him because, like, why are you home when you should be at work? And he's like, oh, no, I'm on leave for a while. So he's using leave as a cover for this whole suspicious thing. And, they caught on to him real freaking quick. And I'm glad that they did. So they set up this operation with NCIS. They had to go find her. They needed to know where the hell she was, That's doing some real work right there. It's like you are following Jackass around to find out what happened to his wife. And so they follow him. They see him stop. Now, most military, they say, I got makeup on my shirt. So they follow him to the McDonald's on the base, and they, he buys food. Okay, you're at a McDonald's, of course you're gonna buy food, especially if you're going inside and buying it. In the 80s, yeah, they had drive-through, but he went in and got it. Why he did not go to the drive-through, I don't know. That was stupid by itself. Why did he not go to the drive-through? I don't know. He was stupid. He thought he was clever, but he was stupid. Okay, so then after that, they follow him over to, of all places, the warehouse. Now, the amount of food that he bought at that McDonald's was enough for 2 to 3 people. Now, of course, she's going along full term. And this is months into the worrying about this poor girl. Months into this whole thing. So, 9 months into this whole thing. So this poor girl is expecting to burst at any moment with a baby. So they see him taking that food in, like I said. And then, they're not, he's not really, thinking he's following him because he's not thinking. And the only thing that he is thinking that he's getting away with this crime, right? So, they wait for him to leave, and after a while, get another drink. After a while, they actually go in there. Now, mind you, remember, have been feeding her the whole 9 months of this whole crime to keep her alive for this baby. So that he could just make up a story saying that, she died in birth. Okay? Which we all know that's bogus. Some of that lip balm off my lips. And my mirror, oh, it's right there. And so they're calling for her, and she hears them, and they do find her. And there are some very unfortunate parts of this. So she's like, once they find her, she's like, just shoot me. I cannot live like this. she's so stressed that the poor thing, her water breaks. Okay, her water breaks. And, you know, I feel sorry for her, but, you know, they already knew who did the crime. Is he going to serve some time? Absolutely. I'm using the color from Char Cosmetics. This is Night Rider. And so her water breaks. So before the EMTs can get there, she gives birth. The officers on site, you know, she at least wants to see the baby once. Because she knows she had lost a lot of fluid at that point. And jackass, even though he was feeding her, he was not keeping her hydrated. So, you know, that's horrible and everything. Dude was just a monster. And so they send units out to find jackass. And so they do find him, and he's trying to use the vacation lead time thing as his alibi. But cheaty girlfriend, eventually in court, lets it all out. She could not believe what a horrid monster, right, he was to his wife, other than she was cheating with this man, right? So she thought that his wife was on vacation because he told the cheaty girlfriend the same thing. So, you know, just try to cover tracks. Well, his tracks weren't so freaking covered at that point. So, yeah. So, the cheaty girlfriend, she felt so bad. She had to tell her husband whose baby it was. Well, she didn't really know that. She had coitus with her husband right after she had coitus with, you know, jackass. So there wasn't really much that that guy could do except maybe divorce her. So nobody knew whose kid it was. So whether he kept her around as a wife or not, that part I don't know. But at least she had the guts enough to come forward and tell them, you know, what she knew. So, yeah, and everybody was so suspicious about those pictures that, you know, obviously they were going to contact people. Now, you know, when people do suspicious shit, they shouldn't be thinking that they can always get away with their suspicious shit. Like, why? What are they thinking? Why are they so calculated in doing such retarded shit? I'm just going to say that. Retarded shit. And, like, so, a little bit more. Okay. Anyway, I don't know why people like that just think they can get away with, like, whatever just because whatever. Like, why? And what's the motive in being so cruel to other people, right? Like, what's up with that? A little more something bright right there. It just doesn't seem so shimmery. And besides, I need to do that. If you guys know my this over there, my makeup sponge is over there, where I keep my trays and stuff for makeup. So, okay, jackass gets caught in all this, and he knows he's doomed. He did this shit to himself, and so where his parents and her parents come into like the rest of this, because both families were contacted. And, you know, his parents, like, they raised this freaking monster, okay? And everybody's trying to figure out, like, how in the hell could somebody, like, raise a monster like that and not know that there was something not right, right? So, it gets to the point where the parents are battling over the grandchild. Like, you're going to battle over this grandkid, so the judge did the correct thing by giving the baby to, you know, custody of the child to her parents, because both sides had to go through the psychological test. And come to find out, his parents were not mentally stable anyway. How can people like that, mentally unstable, like, you bring a child into this world, there's a chance that that child might be mentally unstable, but, you know, you learn from home. And, so, from what I know, like, I think they went into the witness protection program so that nobody would be able to catch them or anything, or be able to harm them, whatever. And, so that the other grandparents could not get a hold of this kid, which is fine with me. Oh, that lip color is a matte lip color. It does dry down. It doesn't transfer. Yeah, that did not transfer at all. Like some sort of like specks on the back of my hand from something. Anyway, I suspect that might just be makeup. Oh, I forgot the setting spray. It's the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day setting spray and jasmine. I really love that scent. It goes with my pH balance, and I was really like surprised at this. The smell's fabulous. And I need to get more of it because I love this stuff when I do my makeup. And, okay, so Jackass went to Leavenworth for the rest of his freaking life. Did the other prisoners kill him? I don't know. Should they have? That's their business. I don't care. Because the dude, you know, Jackass is just a monster. So, yeah, there was a lot of creepy shit that went on these military bases. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of creepy shit. And this is why I'm doing this in Char Spoopy story time. Because, you know, eventually shit haunts. And I hope she haunts him for the rest of his life for what he did to her, because unfortunately when they found her limbs, right? God, her limbs that have been severed were laying not too far from her for that whole entire 9 months. Like, disgusting. Abso-friggin-lutely, that was disgusting. And, so, yeah, there's a fly in here for some stupid reason. And it keeps flying past my face. So, anyway, guys, remember, with everything in life, there's always something spoopy. And what I want you guys to do is stay spoopy. And I will see you in the next one.